Hi everyone, this is Dash USDT 4-hour chart. Dash is retracing after a breakout, but which level will it stop at before the next move up? And what's the ideal entry? Now, we've previously had a nice breakout of the trading range, which we were in for most of April, and here it is. Here's the bottoming pattern, which we saw very clear, definable double bottom with the 200 MA on this time frame acting as nice support. And then we had a nice break above with a higher high, and we've since had another little bit of a rally up, but it may seem like the buyers are getting a little bit exhausted here with the potential falling wedge now forming. Now, these falling wedge patterns are quite helpful when we're trying to trade these pauses in bullish price action, because of course you don't want to enter too early, you don't want to enter too late. So here, of course, we have definable resistance. Maybe we're looking to flip from resistance to support, and here you go. There's the level, and we're currently around there at the moment, which is around $46-45. If we zoom in, we have broken lower and seem to be heading downwards in this pattern. So these patterns are good, as I was saying, because of course you could look at this level here as a clear kind of retest point for the price action to have a potential next leg up from here. But because, as we've previously discussed with Dash, this area still seems quite ripe for a fresh entry point for a bullish move. As you can see here, for this previous move, we had a bit of a 70% retrace. The 70% retrace on that move formed a bottoming pattern before then continuing higher. So you could say to yourself very straightforward, I'm not going to enter a long position here until we start to arrive at this support area. You can see here the 200 MA on the 4-hour, which has previously been supporting the price action, fast coming in. And if we switch maybe to the 6-hour chart, you'll probably see that that moving average is a little bit more supportive, a little bit more precise. So you've got that potential double bottom, which we had in the 200 MA, and therefore this area remains quite obvious in terms of a retrace. Now, that might be quite textbook, and if the market turns, we could have a breakout in this area like so. But ultimately, what do we want to see? You can say to yourself, I'm not going to enter a long trade until I see a break of this falling wedge. So if you do come down to this area, then you see a break, then you're like, okay, I've had a break. Now, where am I looking to enter? And you might be saying, okay, I'm going to look to enter in this level, and we're going to move up from here. So it's obviously going to be very contextual. But the key point is, if you don't get a break, then you can just watch the price action squeeze down towards these lower support levels. Here's a very obvious level to be looking at around $39-40. And then you can then start to accumulate as we enter this area between around $40 and $39. And ideally, you could then say, okay, so I'm going to look for a break here. I'm going to look to come in at support, and then a reversal pattern will form like so, just like we did previously. And then we can go again like so. That'd be quite a reasonable play. We do want to be giving ourselves a set of rules to follow here, because if Bitcoin is at resistance, which it is, it means the downside risk is elevated at the moment for the market, and coming in here is probably a little bit too bullish for the price action at present, and the risk is quite great, as I'm not sure we have enough of a bullish nature to flip this level fully just yet, especially when we haven't properly retested this area following this breakout. So we have a couple of things to be paying attention to. Watch this pattern on the way down. You may want to zoom into a lower time frame just to get the upper and lower resistance levels in the right place. And then of course, as we enter this order block approaching $40 to $39, we can start to look for a reversal and then enter from here. And then we've got lots of options in terms of long trading potential, with this moving average hopefully acting as support following an extended period where it is acting as resistance. So that's the idea here. And so use these patterns to help you avoid entering prematurely. And of course, because this level here, as we're just discussing, looks a bit ambiguous in terms of whether the price action can hold it or not, and we haven't had a breakout of this pattern, this is the area we want to be looking for, and just keep an eye on this pattern. And then ideally we enter this area, get a reversal pattern like we saw here, and then we enter and accumulate ready and prepared for the next leg up. That would be the best play for Dash at present, at least until we see something different.